So this is Johnny Dangers live in Portland, day 86 of sustained protests. You can see a small fire there in the street. Street is blockaded, you can see. So vehicles cannot go there. Pretty big sized group out here. I'd say 200-300 people, maybe a little bit more. People are spread out on the sides. And that fire is going up pretty good now. Police have completely been back. A lot of announcements. I don't know, 12, 15 or more announcements on the LRAD. There's 3 vehicles that are parked. If you've been watching any other streams. So if you want to share this out, make sure if you're watching, hit the heart or the like button so it helps more people see this. Shows up in your feed. I'm gonna go in now. It's been pretty steady until this fire just started going up. Crowd's holding firm. Everybody's geared up for the rain, so they got an extra jacket on, things like that. But the cops have not come out and really done that much. They fired off some pepper ball rounds at some people and then retreated. They don't have a riot line. You can see some graffiti there. Read Fred Hampton, ACAB. Yeah, I know lots of people don't share stuff, but yeah, just hitting the like and the heart button. Anytime you watch any feed, it just makes sure that it shows up in people's feeds and more people can see it. Easy thing to do. Let me know where you're watching from. People with sporadic chants. People are definitely a little bit wet from earlier. So you can see over in that direction is the fire. It's just in the street there. So here you go. You can. So people are getting a little bit louder. I just heard a big air release. It sounds like a popped tire if I had to guess. So, gonna head up here to the left side here. People are chanting and whatnot. So you can see over here, that light is top of the police car. There's about 3-4 police cars over there. A lot of announcements today, little police action. It's wet, ground's still wet, still soggy everywhere. Can't quite tell what that is. Some sort of a thing you'd carry on a bike, something like that. So we are in Portland, Oregon, day 86 of sustained protests. We're at the North Precinct, police precinct. Pretty moderate to heavy rain until about 10 o'clock or so local time. And that fire's in the street, not by anything. The roads are blocked off, so no traffic can go by that. So don't see any police coming from this side. So that corner, other than the fire, is pretty dark over there. So my guess is there's probably something that shouldn't have been, in that fire that was, and then it popped. That kind of like carry thing looked like it would have various chemicals in it. Okay, I can see smoke. They're launching tear gas or smoke. Wow, they're launching it from the other side of the building. The smoke is from the other side of the building. You want to share this off? I just saw it. I think I got it on the feed. It lobbed from the opposite side of the police over the roof. And if that was tear gas, those are flammable, so they risk lighting their own building on fire. Heavy, heavy smoke right now. They have not declared an unlawful assembly or a riot that I've heard. They're only supposed to use tear gas in the incident of a threat to their lives. And we don't even see them out here, so. But the tear gas or the smoke got shot over the building. And the tear gas is very flammable if you've seen it. It's almost lit my pants on fire a couple times. And you could see the stream go over that building with the light on the left and just lob in. And that's also how it's called less than lethal, but it has heavy incidents of injuring people and potentially killing people as well. Okay, so you can see the officer on top of the building there. You see the light that's flashing? I wonder if he shot that from the back side on top. Extremely unsafe. One of those things can plop somebody in the head or somewhere else and can severely injure you, as I'm sure you've seen on various photos or videos or live streams. So the crowd did not disperse, so it's almost for surely that was smoke and not tear gas. Or some of the crowd would have moved. Because it's probably about 50% masked up of gas masks. So some of that crowd would have moved off if that was tear gas. So we're at North Precinct. We're here live. This is Johnny Danger's day 86 of sustained protests. If you're watching this right now, tomorrow there's going to be right-wing protests around the Justice Center around noon, and then there's going to be counter protests around the same time. There's also going to be post office actions across the country at 11 a.m. local time, wherever people are. So let me know where you're watching from in the chat. Share this out. Yeah, I can smell some residue, so it smells like smoke. When I say smoke, there's still a lot of chemicals in that stuff. It's just called smoke. But it has pretty heavy chemical concentration. Yeah, that was a very unsafe volley of the so-called less than lethal from the top of the building or behind there. So let me know where you're watching from. If you have any questions, ask them in the chat. I'll see them now or later. As usual, the police have been very erratic tonight. Maybe even a little bit more so than normal due to the rain. The rain's kind of throwing everybody for a loop, I think. So thanks for joining. Obviously, solidarity to the Black Lives Matter activists and organizers who have kept this protest sustained for 86 days, now closer to the general election than the number of days that people have been protesting out here. It's hard. Going on 3 months is a long time. Really nasty conditions with tear gas and smoke. You can see most protests, it's wet, it's rainy, people would have not showed up or left. Just had smoke lobbed at them, and literally barely anybody left. I mean, it's a very hardened crowd. People have dealt with a lot of shit here in Portland over the last 3 months with the police, state troopers, some, and obviously the feds near the Justice Center. So we'll walk it back to the blockade over here, blocking the road. Obviously for safety reasons, so we've seen those vehicles. Like, this is the same thing when, like, there's a march and you have folks who are on the side, make sure that, you know, a car doesn't go through incidentally. It's the same deal with these vehicles. That's the thought process, if you were wondering, that goes behind, because you don't want to have people unknowingly turn down the street, or purposefully turning down the streets. The same deal. So and these are always very focused Black Lives Matter protests. You can see there was an abolish ICE sign. Last 2 nights the protests have been like yesterday I covered the youth march, so there's Black Lives Matter protests every day, various parts of the city, youth marches, there's sign waving, there's all these different types of actions and events. But the last 2 nights, the night protests have been at the ICE building, which is south of downtown, and that ICE building is now militarized up. It's all covered in plywood, and they have the so-called murder holes, where they kind of have, that's a term from like medieval times, where you have the peek holes on the side, and they had those at the Justice Center and in the federal courthouse, where they can look out or shoot something out of that, and they added those to the ICE building as they plywooded and boarded it up. And they didn't quite finish it last night as people showed up, but they probably did by now. So you can see the fire looks like it's mostly out. Unclear why the fire was started or from what exactly. Looked like some sort of a bike, kind of a carrier thing. It was probably somebody's that was brought here. So right before I was live, we did see there was a police kind of like riot van swung by the road fast, but then it stopped. So maybe possible reinforcements, but they didn't. Somebody burning out over there, but going in the opposite direction. But they're going the opposite direction that you would kind of stage, I guess, to have a riot line. We've more likely seen when they've done reinforcements where they bring in 5-6 police vehicles and they'll have a riot van with riot police, 8, 10, 12, 15 of them hanging off, and then they'll come in pretty heavy. We have not seen that tonight. You can see on the plywood there, an FTP. Okay, I'm going down again. I'll be back in a little bit, depending on what goes on.